Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're getting into something that, well, I think everyone feels but maybe can't always put a name to. American chronic stress.
And we're looking at a set of sources that make a really powerful case.
Yeah, a really powerful case that this isn't some individual failing. It's not something you can just fix with a mindfulness app.
It's framed as a totally rational response to what they call an ecosystem of anxiety.
An ecosystem we've basically engineered. So for our deep dive today, we're going to unpack the three big structures our sources point to.
First, the hostile-built environment we live in.
Then there's the culture of workism.
And finally, the dismantling of those crucial communal third spaces.
Okay, so let's jump in. I think the most fundamental point, the thing that really stood out to me, is that stress is deeply biological. It's not just in your head.
Right. The argument is that the average American nervous system is just stuck on red alert. It's in a constant state of sympathetic hyper-arousal.
Always ready for fight or flight, even when you're just, sitting in traffic.
Especially when you're sitting in traffic. That's where researchers bring in this idea of acoustic toxicity.
Acoustic toxicity. Tell us about that.
It's the noise. Specifically, the low-frequency, irregular noise of traffic. We're talking 70 to 100 decibels near a big road. Your amygdala, the brain's alarm system, interprets that as a direct threat.
Wow. So my brain hears danger, even if I'm not consciously thinking about it.
Exactly. And that signal triggers your HPA axis, flooding your system with cortisol, the stress hormone.
And how quickly does that reset?
That's the critical part. It doesn't reset easily. This happens even when you're asleep, so you're not getting the deep neurochemical restoration your brain needs.
You're waking up already chemically behind the curve.
Precisely. And it isn't just noise. The sources talk a lot about visual stress, too.
You mean like the design of our cities?
Yeah, think about a typical American strode, that chaotic mix of a street and a road, or just the opposite, those huge blank facades of big box stores.
Right, there's no visual interest.
It's more than that. Your brain is wired to appreciate what they call organized complexity or fractal dimension, the kind of patterns you see in nature. When it gets either visual chaos or total monotony, it's a low-level stressor. It actually causes small cortisol spikes.
So our environment is the container for this anxiety, but what fills it up?
That would be the culture of workism.
Define that for us.
It's the belief that your work is the absolute centerpiece of your identity and your life's purpose. It normalizes being exhausted all the time.
And it treats rest as a kind of moral failing.
Or a sign of weakness. And here's where it gets really interesting, because this isn't just an idea, it's written into policy.
The no vacation nation statistic. This one is just staggering.
It is. The U.S. is the only advanced economy in the OECD that does not federally mandate any paid vacation time.
Compared to what, 20 or 30 days in the European Union?
At least. And the data shows it. Something like 26% of Americans take 5 or fewer vacation days a year. There is no legally guaranteed release valve.
And that lack of rest just feeds into isolation, right? Where third places come in, or the lack of them.
Exactly. Rigid zoning laws have made it so hard to have those walkable third places, a local cafe, a park, a community center near our homes.
So any casual social interaction, which is a known stress buffer.
It becomes a project. You have to plan it, drive to it. There's friction.
And the sources are clear. Loneliness isn't just a feeling. It's a biological state of hypervigilance that keeps cortisol high.
The environment and the culture are practically conspiring to keep you isolated and on edge.
So if that's the diagnosis, what about the treatment? Our sources didn't just leave it there. They proposed actual structural repairs.
Absolutely. And they're not individual fixes. First, zoning reform. We need to allow for that 15-minute city concept, mixing residential with light commercial.
So you can walk to get a coffee or groceries.
Right. Second, fix the streets themselves. Turn dangerous stroads into complete streets with things like road diets and lots of trees. It lowers visual stress and noise.
And the third one is the big one, labor.
Federally mandate paid leave, a floor of maybe 15 to 20 days, just to provide that guaranteed release valve we talked about.
So when you put it all together, this American stress crisis starts to look like a completely rational physiological response.
A response to a deeply irrational environment, one that's been engineered for automotive flow and economic friction above all else.
The goal isn't just to reduce stress then. It's to build an ecosystem that actually functions as what did the sources call it? A reservoir of resilience.
Exactly. Which leaves us with a final thought for you to consider. If the simple act of crossing the street or going to work demands a fight or flight response from your body, What one part of your daily routine, physically or professionally, could you redesign to start reclaiming that energy?